Welcome back to Dum-Dums and Dragons, where improvisers who've never roleplayed before journey into the world of Dungeons and Dragons. I am the Great Wizard Bukake, your host. Our heroes are on their way to hunt a dragon. Juniper addressed the traveling adventurers and narrowly avoided burning down the market. Butthole was offering Pegasus rides before being sent on their quest. And Quinny exchanged barbs with Fallonmeyer Pinkblossom. But can these heroes survive the hunt for a dragon? Find out next on Dum-Dums and Dragons.
Dum-Dums, you have arrived back on the Sword Coast after teleporting to the Misty Forest and meeting Fallonmeyer Pinkblossom, your bestest friend and greatest of all wizards, according to Butthole.
Yes.
So it's earlier in their day because we went west.
We didn't have to go over this, Laura. I was like, leave it. It's okay. We don't want to do this.
Okay.
Oh, it is, yeah. No, I don't
Well,
care.
here's the deal. If you're looking at a full global teleportation scale, East and West become meaningless. We're just going to a different
We
point.
teleported
That's true.
all the goddamn way
We
around.
went so far.
We appeared there, and it was later in the day. The teleportation took some time.
We also realistically don't know which direction the sun moves.
Yeah,
in
that's true,
Toriel.
too. Yeah.
That's true.
That's so true.
The sun moves north.
Holy fuck. North.
The land of the falling sun. The north.
Oh my god.
All right,
Really
so
fucked you up.
it's the same time it was last episode.
Yep, sure is.
It was important to make that point. Sorry, Tom.
Indeed. We've arrived in the Misty Forest. After consulting with Fallonmeyer Pinkblossom, you have a little bit more information about your quest from the Lord's Alliance. So Daggerford, a member of the Lord's Alliance, is under threat from Costalancer the Dragon, an adult black dragon who has moved back into the area seemingly after having been captured and neutralized for hundreds of years, and is now seeking vengeance against the long-dead heroes that did it. As a result of this, Costalancer has been frying a person a day in Daggerford, and the town is desperate for some assistance. Given the nature of the three heroes who forced Costalancer into his prison in a mural long ago, the three of you have been identified for your unique talents to go in and deal with this dragon. After consulting with Fallonmeyer, you've determined that Quinny can pose as
Sparkle Twig.
Sparkle Twig, the wizard. Mrs. Paisley can, despite her, what are we calling it? I want to say potty mouth. That's not it.
Doo-doo mouth.
Doo-doo mouth. Despite her doo-doo mouth
Sorry.
affliction due to the potion that
Potion of doo-doo.
Mo Dirt made for Quinny for Cormium, which Butthole then gave to both Quinny and Juniper, only for Quinny to be healed from it and Juniper to still be in the effects of it.
Yeah, she's still got a Mark IV doo-doo mouth.
Yeah, she will need Mark IV Doo-Doo Mouth, Mrs. Paisley, in order to pretend to be the artist Vaultsy, who created the picture that Costalancer was trapped in, and Butthole will present himself as Sir Stanwick the Logical. Do you guys need
Correct.
a sec?
Nope.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
Sir
we're
Stanwick.
good.
Sir
We're all-
Stanwick the
we're all good
Logical.
here. Yeah.
Mark
Right.
IV, Sir Stanwick.
Yeah. I'm going to cry.
So you are first heading to Daggerford to get a lay of the land. Butthole, you just promised Doo-Doo Mouth Juniper that you will attempt to reason with the dragon before.
In some form. Yeah, we
Putting
need
it
to, like, and I think Butthole will be saying this as we walk. He'd be like, what? So, listen, I'm not, this level of dragon is ancient and super powerful to the point where legendary heroes who are still known in this area couldn't defeat it. So, I'm all for trying to communicate. I'm all for that, but we need to do our research first because here's the deal. We're hitting the point where if we go up and we say just hello, new friend, to a giant dragon that's already committing daily massacres while demanding the right to do even more murders, I think we all just might get stomped to death and breathed to death with various fires of whatever type. And I don't know what other magic it has. So just, I'm hoping we can work off peripheral evidence to determine guilt or innocence. Does that make sense, Juniper?
Me get.
Right. Jesus. I'd forgotten. Holy shit.
You forgot already? That's
Yeah.
like a 90-second turnaround.
Well, yeah, no. Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with me. I just... I went somewhere else. We're back from a break, and I was just...
we
I
had
was-
lunch.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to go to this town. We'll find out when Castellanza shows up, because I don't know if that's beginning of the day. I don't know if that's late in the day. I don't know if it's approximately when now is. And we just got to talk to whoever's in charge, because we want to make sure they know it's us who are here doing this thing, because A, we're representing the Lord's Alliance, but B, we don't have the ability to blast our heads into the sky to do some sort of weird apology tour surrounded by the ghosts of people we've murdered. So we got to be good heroes and ultimately probably do what Daggerford wants, because they're not really asking us to show up and do something else. They're asking us to show up and help them. And that's what we would want, because I think if we are in a crisis situation, we had to ask the Lord's Alliance. We don't want just a bunch of people showing up and being like, well, let's give our opinion on this issue. We're from somewhere else, and we think we're smarter than you. So we don't know anybody who's in charge. I think we just walk up to the wall gate. We don't actually know what's here and see how it goes.
I think if you arrive in capacity as being king of Asgard, that'll give us an audience with some, authority figures, decision makers, and it'll help us get an idea of what would you call it? Call it power scaling, maybe? Like, obviously, Daggerford was not able to defend itself from this dragon, but what did they do that failed? And that's our kind of base camp.
Yeah,
we need to do better than whatever that was.
And who came by before us? Because you said other people have tried this.
Yeah.
And how did they get into the Lord's Alliance? Well, we'll find out. All right, so I guess I can just, do you want me to just take lead, or do you want to do the voicing for this one, Quinny?
I don't think we need to lie or obfuscate the truth.
No, I
and
just
you're a
mean
convincing guy.
sometimes it's like, do we want somebody to show up and be like, this is the king?
Well,
and
you're
do
the king.
announcing
Do you want
thing?
a herald, or do you want to...
I don't really. I feel like the Lord's Alliance, let's try to set this as more the way we usually do stuff.
Okay.
Like we can just go talk.
Yeah, I'm fine with
I'm
that.
happy to be more informal, because we're going to do good work for these people.
What do you think, Juniper?
Me bad intro voice day
Yeah.
today.
That's true. That is
Oh.
true.
Yeah, it's probably not your best day for like big speeches.
Be old thief lady?
Oh, yeah, we should get you to be Mrs. Paisley now if we want.
Yeah. She's just...
Unless you feel like Juniper would be here in case something goes on with the townsfolk. Who do you think's going to do better with doo-doo mouth, you or Mrs. Paisley in the short term?
Or Grandpa Warwick. I mean, no one's going to know the difference.
I think Grandpa Warwick may be a little bit completely out of our ability to control or contextualize.
All right.
Old men think no good.
That's right. He's got doo-doo brain all the time. Yeah, it's in there. Just a smooth orb of a brain.
I tried to kind of like reverse engineer a normal voice out of this, to put on a good face.
So you're saying we might actually get a genius Grandpa Warwick who speaks
Warwick's
normally?
Addled brain might cause an outward presentation of someone halfway confident.
All right, so we got options
all I'm
then,
saying.
Juniper. You could go Mrs. Paisley, and she's going to have doo-doo mouth. She's who we need eventually. Or you could go Grandpa Warwick, and our theory is he's so weird and dumb that he will sound and act normal and might actually be smarter. Because if he thinks he's doing a stupid thing, the smart thing might happen.
I
Reverse
put this-
genius, one
I
might
put
say.
this into practice, and it kind of worked.
Grandpa confident.
Grandpa Warwick is confident? Okay.
Yeah, that's not really our. It'd be if you like. That's fine. We're saying, do you want to be an accidental genius or Mrs. Paisley with doo-doo mouth?
Grandpa Warwick no art to do.
Yeah, that's
Well,
true.
yeah, but I don't think we're painting a mural. We said that wouldn't work. So we could say anybody looks like Vaultsy.
Oh.
Slap a
Old
paintbrush
man.
and a beret on him and say he's Vaultsy. It could happen.
Tell old man artist.
Yeah, we'll tell him he's an artist.
Yeah, it was a long time ago, apparently.
How do we know he wasn't an artist?
Yeah.
Nothing he says makes sense. But when it comes out, I bet it'll make a lot of sense all of a sudden.
It could.
Do you know how Reginald becomes smart Reginald? I think we might get smart Warwick out of this.
Maybe. Do you want to try it? It's okay if you don't.
Juniper's thinking about it. All right, we're going to try something.
Now we get to hear you explain completely insanely an idea you had.
Suggest the counter option here. Yeah, counter offer.
Maybe old man.
Yep.
Okay.
Is that the whole thing?
Yeah, you got it.
Me no control, old man.
Okay, yeah, we know that.
Find out?
Hell yeah.
That's what we've been asking you.
I'm up for
this
it.
is yours. You want to gamble? Let's do this.
Oh, change now.
All right, I'm ready.
No.
Oh, oh,
No. Become an old man, and I blast you with a remove curse, which now hilariously we have used to prevent wolf, but not to prevent doo-doo mouth.
say, does remove curse remove all curses, or do you need to specify the curse? Do you have to be like, no to werewolf, the potion runs?
It says all curses affecting one creature or object ends.
So that means you just get Grandpa Warwick as is.
Well, then here's the interesting question.
This is what I was trying to math out.
Pause. If the object is a cursed magic item, its curse remains, but the spell breaks its owner's attunement to the object. So this becomes an interesting potion question, which is, it's not a traditional curse necessarily. So would this strip the potion completely, or because it's a potion, would it remain affecting the system?
Based on the way we've already used the spell, it's going to strip the effect.
Great. We just have Grandpa Warwick.
Hi.
Oh.
No, he sounds the same.
Yeah, it doesn't work, apparently.
No, I'm not cursed. It's me. I'm free.
Okay, do you know how to do art? Can you tell people you're an artist?
Am I?
Oh, you're an artist.
Yeah,
Do you know your
I
middle
did
name
art.
is Vaultsy?
Grandpa Vaultsy Warwick.
Yeah.
Your name. That's correct.
Yeah.
Grandpa Vaultsy Warwick.
Yeah, or you could be Grampy Vaultsy Warwick if that helps.
No, that's not my name.
Correct.
I do art.
Yeah.
You certainly do.
What kind of art do I do?
It's pretty good. Murals.
Spoken word?
No,
Oh.
murals.
Frescoes.
Yeah, frescoes and murals.
Specifically frescoes.
Do I know what
Exclusively.
a fresco is?
Oh, you
Yeah,
know.
you
You've done
do.
a bunch.
If you
I
just,
do frescoes.
Yeah, and you know what it is. So if you were to just start talking right now, if I were to prompt you, oh, Grandpa Vaultsy Warwick, what's a fresco? And there's the things that you say, that's what it is. So what's a fresco?
A fresco is a collection of the stems and twigs and leaves of plants all mushed together into a final image.
Yeah, so that's what it is.
It's the freshness of nature.
Yeah, fresco.
That's true. He's all right. Well,
yeah, fresco.
this works for me.
That's
question.
what you said.
Grandpa, is there a Grandpa Vaultsy Warwick? Let's say there's a future time where maybe we need Juniper or Mrs. Paisley.
Mrs. Paisley.
Are you willing to just switch when that's needed?
She's writing down Grandpa Vaultsy Warwick.
I can, but please don't take me away from my friends.
Do you mean us?
You asked it way nicer. I was going to say, what friends?
I've had friends in the past.
Yeah.
And they've been taken away from me.
I mean, like, you're, I'm trying to remember if Quinny knew the context of the Forsaken conning Warwick. Like, you mean your son?
Buddy.
Buddy, yeah.
Where's Buddy?
I'm Buddy.
Yeah, he's
You're,
Buddy.
you look different, Buddy.
Yeah, I cleaned
you
up a fair
sound
bit.
different, Buddy.
I know, I'm a king now.
He put on some weight. He grew a beard.
How long was I gone?
About a day and a half. No, sorry, 3.5 days.
And who did you kill, Buddy?
Oh,
Who did you kill?
It wasn't a regicide. It was just there was a vacancy, and he took it, and here he is.
Yeah, I kind of applied for the job and then got it. Don't worry about
Buddy,
it.
I'm so proud.
Thank you. Maybe we can do a fresco when we're back. So what you're saying is you will
A
switch.
fresco?
Yep, you're saying we can switch you out when we need to?
You can. But, again, if I have a best friend, don't make me leave them. I'm a straight stick.
Oh. I mean, I'm sure he's still around.
Yeah, I watched him die.
Oh, you did right. Yeah, no, you're right. He's dead. He's dead. He is dead. But
Okay, well, we may have to. Here's the
I'll
deal.
take you to his grave.
We can't control when. Oh, God. We can't control when you make a best friend.
Or when
But-
they die.
We can't control that either. And we don't know who that's going to be. So we promise to only send you away if it's super important in life or death, okay?
I can agree to that.
Perfect. All
Do
right.
you think Red Eye will be my friend?
Wow, you got
Maybe.
a lot more context than I
Yeah,
expected.
you were awake in there, huh?
You were smart for a second. Yeah.
I remember what Juniper remembers.
Okay.
Mostly.
I was going to say that does based on our personal conversational history. That's shocking.
I think that
I
kind of
don't
comes and goes with
remember.
Warwick.
All right,
I think-
come on,
I think
Grandpa
before
Vaultsy Warwick. We got to go to town.
I
We got
think
to
before
make
he
friends.
starts sundowning
I'm an
because
artist.
it is getting late.
Yeah, it's true.
in
The
the
sun
day.
really is moving south.
You can
All
see
right,
it's in
let's
the
go.
northern. Oh, it's right. I was going to make the same joke.
So we're heading.
So much faster than me.
So we're heading towards town.
Best idea. No notes.
Okay. So you approach Daggerford. Daggerford is a walled-in settlement. There's a lot of kind of farms and things just outside the wall as you approach, but you're looking at a population of around 900 in the city walls, probably 2,000 once you account for all the outlying stuff, but generally small, even compared to Asgard. So approaching the wall, you can see that there is a militia sort of outside wearing a crest that you can assume is Daggerford. These look like all sorts of different folks. It looks kind of like a civilian militia. These aren't... likely they've all had training because no one's just kind of like standing around, but it's definitely not a bunch of military types. It seems to be the citizens of the town itself. And there's a number of gates into the town, and you can approach them if you so desire.
You want me to take a first swing at this?
Sure, yeah, you got good vibes.
All right.
I'll come too. I was a soldier.
All right, we're all going.
All right.
Please start the conversation, Quinny.
Yeah. Hey.
Militia steps forward and says, early evening, sir.
Hey, we're here from the Lord's Alliance. We're here about we hear you got a dragon problem.
Oh, yes. It is terrible. Has the dragon learned what we've been doing?
I'm not sure.
What have you been doing?
We're here to help, though.
Well, I should perhaps leave this to Lady Morwin to explain, but I'm glad to hear that there hasn't been an escalation of anything that you are aware of. You're not aware of any escalation?
As far as we knew, we were the escalation.
Why don't you tell us what the status quo is currently, and we'll compare that with what we were just told is going on. Maybe one or both of us will have an update.
Forgive me, who are you? You say you're from the Lord's Alliance. Do you have any credentials or...
Well, this is King Mudbutt from the nation.
I'm King Butthole.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Okay, Quinny, take a step back. Hello, new friend. I'm King Butthole Farch of Asgard, formerly known as Akar. Proud member of the Lord's Alliance, and I'm here to help you with your dragon. Alongside me here is my Minister of Culture, Quinny Barrow. I'm going to get his name a little bit wrong just to balance the scales.
Thank you.
And last is Grandpa Vaultsy Warwick.
I'm an artist.
The one the dragon has been demanding.
Yep.
We will sacrifice this old man to the dragon and
No,
all will be well.
that will not do that.
You're here to save us.
I am here to save you.
No,
okay,
Grandpa,
clearly lived a long
Grandpa.
life.
everybody shut up, okay? He's going to impersonate Vaultsy. If need be, we're here to stop the dragon. Agreed. What are you guys up to?
As long as you make things cool with Lady Morwin, if I tell you this, but we have a healer who has been bringing the burnt back to life under cover of darkness.
Oh, that's great.
If the dragon were to discover this, his wrath would be great. Mm-hmm. But otherwise, we wouldn't really still be able to live here. This would be too horrible.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. You're having to hide more and more people as time goes on.
Yes, and our healer grows weaker by the day. They are expending tremendous energy keeping this many people safe and alive. Also, it's incredibly painful. It's still getting burnt to death. It's very bad.
Sure, yeah, I've been there.
Yes.
All right, so let's go talk to Lady Morwin, and we can figure out what's going on here, and then we can make our next move.
Oh, excellent. I will show you in immediately. I would recommend, though, that you hide your royal countenance so that in case the dragon swoops over, he's already burnt someone today. Old Heinrich Jeromo.
And is Heinrich back or still?
He has been revived, but he's horribly traumatized by the affair. He says many of them are. And honestly, that's the ducal castle cellar is running out of room to hide people.
Does the dragon sometimes come by and do like a twofer? I thought it was one a day.
Yes, it is. It is one day. It's just the people who have been raised from the dead aren't good.
Oh, yeah, no, I understand that.
Yes, no.
I'll put on my cloak that makes me look like garbage, and he puts on his cloak that he can have gold on one side or garbage on the other and turns the garbage side out.
It's the nicest cloak I've ever seen. All right, this way.
Come on, friends.
And you're brought into town. And sure enough, Daggerford is... There, like any town under occupation, there's just kind of, it's all vaguely grayscale. Like everyone's just a little dour. People are still kind of trying to go about their business as best they can, particularly knowing that their citizens aren't dying. It's a weird state of it's still horrible and still any of them can die any day, but they kind of have to just get on with it. and they can't really mourn because there's no one to mourn, but it's a weird, you're getting a very weird sense of this place. So as the guard walks you through town, he kind of indicates the various quarters. There's the river quarter with the docks that lead out onto the coast. The caravan quarter with shops. He indicates there's a tavern there if you're looking for somewhere to stay. That's a little incognito. There is Miller's Dry Goods, where you can get grains and the like. There's the Farmer's Quarter that houses the River Shining Tavern. The Harvest House, which is a small temple to Chantea. And the Money Quarter, where you can find the Lizard's Gizzard Inn, which doesn't provide any kind of like food or drink, but is a place you can crash.
So Money Quarter, Farmer's Quarter, Caravan Quarter, River Quarter.
Correct.
Great.
Yep. And overlooking all of it in sort of the, like, it almost like there's Daggerford as a town, and then just to the east there is the ducal castle. You're noticing a lot of the buildings have a dwarven flair to them. A lot of them look like they've been rebuilt with kind of dwarven engineering. And the ducal castle is very much a dwarven structure. It's a beautiful old dwarven building atop a hill with its own wall surrounding it in the east part of Daggerford. So that's where the guard leads you. He also explains that everyone in Daggerford has to serve in the militia at some point. So you'll see a variety of different. The wall guards are like lifers, but a lot of the folks you'll encounter aren't trained, have received training, aren't trained soldiers. Which
They're lifers,
yeah. And you'd wanted to ask kind of what has been done so far. And he says, like, the militia, when Costa Lancers showed up the first time, the militia put up a pretty, as best they could, stage fight. But it was, sticks and twigs versus a dragon. It went tremendously badly. And a lot of the people who died in that assault were not revived. The healer came later. So the town has received losses and is still hurting from that. So he brings you to the castle and says, Lady Morwin is the current Duchess of Daggerford and a member of the Lord's Alliance. You can speak to her, and if you need any other assistance, please don't hesitate to ask.
Great, that makes sense to me. Any questions, Quinny?
I understand you were likely quite surprised when Costalancer first appeared and were taken unawares by a dragon attack. But since then, what kind of anti-dragon measures have you tried to take? I understand he's still harassing and doing what he said he would do of burning a townsperson every day, but what are your countermeasures that you've tried and haven't worked so far?
The Duchess attempted a negotiation with the dragon, tried to explain that the people that it wants aren't here, that we don't know of them or their location. They aren't, living it up anywhere in town. It's a very strange thing the dragon is asking of us something we cannot give.
Yeah.
Though at this point, and looks vaguely hungrily at Grandpa Warwick, though we would if we could at this point, I think, give what the dragon wants over to it. But I understand this is not the actual Vaultsy, so that...
Correct.
Never is, yeah.
My middle name is Vaultsy.
It is.
No, your name is Vaultsy, but you are not the Vaultsy they're talking about. You know how, like, there's a lot of people named, your son's name, my name?
Buddy.
Yeah, you know how there's a lot of people in the world named Buddy?
I only know one Buddy.
Well, then this is a bad example.
That is,
so, you know how there's a lot of people with the last name Warwick?
Grandpa Warwick. Grandma Warwick. She's dead.
And that's sad.
And Buddy Warwick.
Yeah, so you know how there's a lot of those. So, like, I'm a Warwick, but I'm not Grandpa Warwick.
I'm Grandpa Warwick.
Correct. So you're a Vaultsy, but there's also another Vaultsy.
I'm Vaultsy Warwick?
Correct.
Other Vaultsy Warwick.
No, they don't have the same last name. It's just the Vaultsy part.
Oh.
Do you know Vaultsy's last name historically?
No, he was a mysterious... They were a mysterious artist. No one knows anything about Vaultsy other than the phenomenal body of work they left in their wake. That's why we can't offer Vaultsy up to the dragon.
That's why nobody knows.
Warwick.
That's why nobody knows the last name except Quinny. Quinny, what's Vaultsy's last name?
Oh, it's, Clement.
Roll a deception check.
14 plus 13. 27.
Vaultsy Clement. We'll have to look into this. See if we can track down this Vaultsy.
See, that's Vaultsy Clement. You're Vaultsy Warwick. Different person, but similar name.
Okay. I'm Grandpa Vaultsy Warwick the artist.
Yep. You make frescoes and murals and such.
And murals.
This is sounding like the Vaultsy we seek.
Coincidence, I'm sure.
Shh. Butthole says in his card. Shh. We're here to see Morwin now.
Fine, yes.
What's the healer's name?
The healer is known as Gerwin Nobleflame.
Gerwin Nobleflame. Okay, got that. All right, so we just go in the front door?
Yes, that is what I will walk you up to right now. Hop, 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 hop. Leads you up to the...
Oh, wow, it's catching on.
Yeah, it doesn't do the elbows, just says the hop, hop, hops.
Discreetly as we're walking up, Quinny wants to just remind Butthole, like, hey, you know, the Vaultsy cover, it's for the dragon. It's not for the people here. Like,
yeah, I know, but now we're kind of stuck with it because it got said out loud and he gets really confused.
Okay, all right.
Unless you got a better plan. How do you want to play this?
I think, you know, he misses quite a bit. So I think we can probably talk about him without knowing that we're talking about him.
So it's like Grandpa Warwick?
Yeah.
Sold?
What?
Hey, you're Grandpa Warwick, right?
Grandpa Vaultsy Warwick.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're doing great. All right, let's go in. Come on, Grandpa. We help the sheriff
The guard opens the door and says, Lady Morwin, I present King Butthole, Warwick.
All right, goodbye. Hello. I'm King Butthole Farch of the land of Asgard, formerly known as Aka. I'm here with my companions. This is Quinny Brownbarrow and Grandpa Warwick. We're excited to be here to help you with your dragon problem. I understand that Castellancer is doing some horrible shit. I'm really glad you have a healer that's been able to help out with the hidden people, but like, we're here to basically solve this problem. I'm here from the Lord's Alliance.
And Lady Morwin is a bit of a Jessica Walters type, so just very regal, but with a bit of an over-it look to her. She's wearing very like fancy robes for Daggerford, but it's clear that it's still like country fancy compared to Waterdeep. You can see that there's been some added embellishments to try and make it look richer. Like there's gold attached to it in places, but despite her age and the kind of age of this castle and the grandiose nature of the ducal castle, which again is like a ducal castle, so it's very small compared to like part one, almost feels like an attempt at new money or attempt at putting on airs as she turns from the fire to greet you, and she just says, well, I am glad someone in the Lord's Alliance finally saw fit to assist us. I am Lady Morwin. This is Daggerford, and we are very grateful for your assistance, King Butthole. Mr. Brownbarrow, Mr. Warwick, it is a relief. I was worried for a bit that perhaps no one would come, that perhaps the Lord's Alliance would turn away from us in our time of need. Are you aware of the recent history of Daggerford?
First, let me say, we heard of this problem ourselves in Asgard about 3 hours ago. We're here as fast as we can be. We've heard that Castellancer escaped a mural of some kind, has been wreaking havoc on the town, burning someone alive each day, demanding 3 dead heroes appear, and is layering, one might say, somewhere near in a marsh.
So the heroes are dead. The wizard, the artist, and the soldier.
Long dead, we understand.
I'm an artist and a soldier.
Yep, but it's yours, though. Died a long time ago.
Am I a hero?
Yeah, sure you are, Grandpa Warwick.
The greatest generation.
I will admit that Daggerford has a bit of a, and then she kind of corrects herself and says, I have a bit of a dicey relationship with the Lord's Alliance right now, so I am pleased to hear that you heard of our plight and have arrived, but some of the details you have are not details I have. I was replaced for a time by a succubus. It was a whole thing. So there's a little bit of distrust between the rest of the Lord's Alliance and our humble town. I assure you, I am deeply, tragically human now. Do whatever tests you need, cast whatever spells you need, ask me riddles, whatever the fuck you need. Everyone does it. I've had fucking Pinkblossom here several times.
Oh, well, if Pinkblossom's been here, then we know you're human. We don't have to worry about any of this.
Oh, boy.
Are you sure?
Oh, she's the greatest mystic of our age.
Fucking Pinkblossom.
Yeah, fucking Pinkblossom.
Yeah, fucking Pinkblossom.
Fucking Pinkblossom, like in a good way, just to keep things going.
I see. You'll have to excuse my lack of understanding of your big city ways. We're but a small town and an important one with a storied history. But fine, I appreciate that you take me at my word that I'm not a succubus. Not a sentence I thought I would ever have to say in my life. And yet, here we are, day in, day out. But yes, continue.
Oh, yep.
Not a succubus. In any case, yes, the dragon, Costalancer, as he declared himself, arrived here about 2 weeks ago. We launched a counter-offensive as best we could, but our militia is not as strong as I would hope. Now, we do get adventurers coming through Daggerford rather frequently, and a number of them made attempts on the lair itself, but unfortunately the Lizard Marsh is not our realm and is full of all manner of dangers, both from creatures, dinosaurs, large insects, all manner of dangerous creature, and of course the lizard folk themselves, with whom we have an admittedly checkered past. They have been allies, they have been enemies. Their leader, the one known as Red Eye, has attempted to purchase weapons from us several times, which is not something I'm particularly keen on. One doesn't exactly want to arm one's frenemies next door with one's own goods, particularly knowing how ill-equipped our militia is to repel attacks. So whether they were killed by lizard folk or by the dragon, we don't know. But what we do know is the various heroes who came through here have all not returned, with the exception of our dear, sweet Gerwin Nobleflame, who, rather than going to make an attempt on the lair, instead stayed here to resurrect whoever they could. I understand that I don't know much of magic myself, but Nobleflame is exhausted by his efforts and is struggling to keep up with not just the bringing people back, but the long recovery period required. They're all in my basement right now, which I must say is also a bit of a pain in the ass when one wants to get wine or food, and I cannot ease their suffering other than to give them a space to hide.
So the first big question that I think we have, and I hate it if this sounds ignorant, but we just want to try to understand the situation is, it sounds like Costalancer was trapped in a painting for a while, and there are some concerns by some people that Costalancer may also have been like a mistreated party who we could perhaps negotiate with. But I understand that you've gone through negotiations. We're trying to figure out if there's a way to not have to kill this dragon.
I see. Are you cowards?
We're the three people who are here to help you, so...
Yes, but you don't want to fight the dragon, so you're just going to let the dragon continue to attack my town?
Let's call fighting the dragon option 1B, and we're just exploring option 1A of
I see. Yes, I did
diplomacy.
attempt to negotiate with the dragon. I attempted to do what you suggest. Costalancer arrived, landed atop my palace, and yelled to the crowd his intentions. We explained that we do not know who the wizard is. We do not know no one knows who Vaultsy is. And I've never even heard of this random soldier he's mad about. We explained that to him. We offered him riches, knowing that he was new in town and dragons like hoards. He melted the riches along with my envoy. So, no, you can't particularly negotiate with him. He is furious and demands the destruction of those heroes. And I will admit, I do not think it will stop there. He is a twisted and bitter creature. And I can't speak to what happened to him during his incarceration or why he was incarcerated in the first place. But in looking back at our history books, this whole region has been plagued by a variety of menacing dragons throughout time who have been hell-bent on destroying and killing. So...
Yeah, no, that checks out. Okay, we kind of thought it might be that. We were hoping for something different, but bad luck to us. Sorry, Grandpa Warwick and internal personas.
What?
You're fine. So then I guess the only question we have is in terms of tactical one, and we're going to have to ask you as like the local expert. We could try to throw down with this dragon here in town, but I'm worried about additional casualties or damage to property if it happens within these walls. But then again, having some militia assistance with us taking the lead might not be a bad thing. Or we could go into the marsh and go after it, but then we have to deal with the lizard folk, and there may have to be concessions made there that could affect your town for us to get a shot at this dragon before it comes back. What's your preference?
Though I would rather not cede any particular influence to the lizard folk, I do fear that despite the fine dwarven engineering of our town, the militia will likely do more harm than good to your cause. They are brave and well-meaning, but as we saw in the first assault, their arrows, their javelins, their swords.
Oh, we'll get plugged full of local arrows. Yeah,
like
okay.
a stiff breeze against the dragon. I feel the destruction here would perhaps be too much for us to recover from.
All right, so it's resistant to traditional weaponry. Is there anything else? I think the last question we got before apparently we have to go talk to lizard people is, what kind of weapons were you seeing from this dragon? Is there any kind of magic you talk about? Is it breathing fire? Does it have like psychic magic?
Or
Is
maybe
it
acid breath? Or
acid breath? We've seen that,
We've encountered poison breath before.
Does it like huck rocks? Like just any tips you can give us on stuff the dragon does or doesn't do, or if there's anything your team did that seemed to either hurt it or just piss it off. That's also worth
Can you
knowing.
roll me a persuasion check at advantage? This is not that she would hold the information back. I'm just going to make you roll in order to determine how much you can get.
18.
18. Okay. She nods and says, yes, this region has had issues with black dragons throughout our time. A pair of them recently laired nearby, and just when we were rid of them, along comes Costalancer. So there has been, we've had some history with these creatures. I can tell you that the dragon does exhale acid. It is a vicious breath weapon that Costalancer used on several of our people during the assault. We also found that our troops were terrified of Costalancer. The creature has what you might call a frightful presence. But it is very easy to become frightened of the monster throughout combat with it.
I'm not afraid.
Well, that's good for now. Good start, though. Good start. You should also be prepared for the creature to act outside of when you might expect. Perhaps when you are acting, it may also act.
Whoa.
This is something many of our...
That kind of action sounds legendary.
Yes. That is the kind of action I would be concerned about. That is about all I can give you, other than Costalancer is convinced of his own strength. And admittedly, against us, he's correct. Against you, who knows?
I think it's interesting that you were able to chase off
We
two
had
black
nothing to
dragons?
do with that one. No, that was a whole other affair. We didn't have much to do with that. Heroes came through, dealt with it, but they've moved on.
And their methods are a mystery to you?
It's a whole separate module.
So when Costalancer came in and fought, was Costalancer landing and doing all the fighting, or did he tend to do flybys?
He began atop the ducal castle. We mounted an attack there, and then I believe to put us in our place, he leapt down amongst us and laid waste. He can certainly fly.
Oh, no question. I just wanted to know if he was like always in the air, or if he would land to throw down for a bit.
Here he would land. This is perhaps just the musings of an older woman, but it hurts like hell if I've been sitting incorrectly and stand up again and walk around a bit. Oof. He's been trapped in a mural for a long time. I think he's probably still a bit stiff.
He's got it's a no bones day. Okay. All right. I feel like we know enough to go talk to the lizards.
The last question for you. Sorry about all this. Thank you for giving all this information.
Well, thank you for coming to help.
It seems, I guess, unexpected to me that the lizard folk couldn't guarantee your forces or the heroes safe travel through the marshes, given your mutual enemy. Are you getting a sense that they're acting in supplication to Costalancer?
Red Eye is a mysterious figure in this region, and the lizard marshes, I should warn you, are larger than they appear. They are larger than this town. There are a lot of mysteries in those depths. The envoys that Red Eye has sent to town to purchase on his behalf have been eloquent, polite, and very generous in their offers. But again, one must question the intent behind. I myself have never met Red Eye, so I cannot speak to what he wants or doesn't want. It does seem strange to me that they would allow such a creature to just live in their midst. but I cannot pretend to know the mind of that one. He weaves magic and is managed to band together he's destroyed his opponents in the region and banded together all of the bands of lizard folk in the region using his magic. He is a tremendously powerful sorcerer of some sort.
And if we end up talking to him, any tips?
I've never met him. I can't speak to that other than I fear there is a bias against folks who live in a swamp and against lizards.
I can understand that.
As creatures. Do not fall into the trap of bigotry when dealing with Red Eye. He's an incredibly intelligent, incredibly conniving, and incredibly strategic mind.
So in terms of the weapons they wanted from you guys, what kind of weapons were they looking to buy?
They need metal.
Just metal in general?
The lizard folk mostly
mines.
create their weapons out of natural materials, bone, stone, that sort of thing, and they are deadly weapons. We have lost people in combat with them. But I suspect in attempting to subdue the other tribes of lizard folk in the area, he wanted an advantage, and metal weapons would be that. Luckily, again, most folks look down on the lizard folk and as a result are wandering through there to trade. So it's not to say someone else couldn't sell him a bunch of metallic weapons, but yes, that is what he has asked for. We considered providing farming tools and the like, but it was pointed out to be one of my advisors that those could very easily be rebeaten into swords and blades, and as a result, we did not take the deal.
So I've got kind of a mid-range suggestion we might be able to go with here if you're on board with it. If we could take a mule, horse, etc., and a cart, we're on our way to go negotiate with them, which means a good faith gift could very much help us, and they want weapons, and we would like their help perhaps fighting a dragon. Sounds like they're pretty effective with the majority of their weapons, but if we were to bring them bows and arrows of quality, those are ranged weapons. They would be very effective against a dragon. And frankly, you've already acknowledged that your walls are not your greatest defense point. And once they get into the city, I'm speaking as a general here, I'm not trying to knock the city in any way because city fighting is really nasty, bows aren't good door to door. And you have everyone in this town is trained for military stuff. So it doesn't really help them here. It would very much help against a dragon, and it could help us get in the door and make a friend. Would you consider sending bows and arrows with us?
Roll me a persuasion.
That is a 22.
Her jaw kind of clenches at this, and she says, I would allow a small amount, but I need to ensure that it's not enough arrows that they could simply rain death down upon us from the sky at distance and then come in to mop up what's left. They are incredibly powerful with javelins and slings. I can only imagine with proper, and bows for that matter, short bows with stone-head arrows. But yes, if you can provide a small amount, the kind that would perhaps not be recoverable from a battle with a dragon, that would be fine.
I mean, sure. What do you want to say? 40 bows, 10 arrows each?
I wonder if she has 40 bows to spare.
I figured it was like 2,000 people, so I didn't know what the ratio would be.
Yeah, population of
Might
like
be less.
900 within the walls, 2,000 in the surrounding area.
Even if you get, you know what? We could say
20 bows.
20
Yeah.
bows, 15 arrows each. You probably got more arrows than bows.
Yes, we do, yes.
And you do that, it's like a couple in training, and then they burn through the rest. It would also create, if they find out that it's very useful for them hunting in the marsh, an ongoing trade opportunity for you to ship out a small percentage of arrows over time.
Do not, yes, this makes sense. A grim sense, but sense nonetheless. Do me a favor. Please stop by the Lady Luck Tavern on your way out of town and speak with Glennis Orkslayer. She is the proprietor, one of the long line of orc slayers. Her progenitors were great warriors, as the name would suggest, and might have ceremonial armor left over from adventure days. If you tell her, you can show her this ring. She takes off a ring, gives it to you. Show her this ring to say you speak with my authority, but see if she can give you a helmet or a pauldron or something that you can also present to Red Eye as a gift.
Great. Yeah, we'll swing by. What was the name of that tavern again?
The Lady Luck Tavern. It's in the Caravan Quarter.
The Lady Luck Tavern. Okay, yeah, we'll swing by and grab that armor. We'll pick up the bows, and then we'll make our way. Hopefully we can get this solved tonight before anything more terrible happens tomorrow.
I should ask, you said you found out about all this 3 hours ago.
Yes.
would you say then that you are perhaps not magically prepared the way you would want to be? My understanding is that our Gerwin Noble Flame can assist in the changing of spells.
Gerwin's not stretched too thin already? I mean...
Gerwin won't be doing much work to do this. I suspect it's just you know, sometimes when two carts run out of battery, you have to jumpstart one of the carts.
What's a battery?
It's how you
I know
ram
exactly
doors.
what you're talking about.
It's a
'cause I've
wooden
been to-
box, then you use chains.
Yeah, we've been to the future. Okay, so yeah, we'll go talk to Gerwin. That sounds great.
Yes, you will find him downstairs. He likely can't spare much time, but if you needed to reconsider any of the magic, I think he could talk you through how to bring those spells to the forefront of your mind.
Fabulous. Okay, yeah, we'll go talk to him. Because I'm imagining, Grandpa, earlier today, you thought you were going to have a really different day than a dragon hunt.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we'll let you switch up some spells there, bro.
I have to fight a dragon.
You don't have to if you don't want
befriend
to.
a dragon.
Somebody else can come out if you don't want to fight.
If you try to befriend it, it'll kill you.
Okay.
Friendship was never an option.
In the grim
Okay.
darkness of the Lizard Marsh, there is only war.
I miss my best friend, Red Eye.
It's going to be a day.
Yeah.
All right, let's go fix these fucking spells. Steer the chair down to go meet Gerwin Noble Flame.
And with that, you descend into the cellar of the ducal castle.
This episode of Dum-Dums and Dragons features the voices of Ryan LaPlante, Tyler Hewitt, and Laura Hamstra, alongside our Dungeon Master, Tom McGee. This episode was edited and mixed by Laura Hamstra, and Dum-Dums and Dragons artwork was created by Del Borovic at delborovic.com. That's DELBOROVIC.com. Our theme songs are And Now for That Massive Coronary and Skipping Through the Orchestra Pit Part 1 by Peter Gresser, and our ad breaks use the tracks No Control and Chiefs by Jazzar, JAHZZAR. All of their music is available at freemusicarchive.org. For all things Dum-Dums and Dice, including merchandise and how to join our Patreon, you can visit dumdumdice.com or find us on social media at dumdumdice. That's DUMBDICE. And tune in next week for more Dum-Dums and Dragons.
Dum-Dums and Dice has to give a special thank you to the supreme beings of our Patreon at this time: George Dolby, Gavin and Abby McDonald, Fire Unfriendly, Grandma Likes D&D, Alan, Stabby Stranger, Alarain Okapi, Madre de Gatos, Mithrian, Garbo Ape, Sam Schaefer, Waffle Marine, Dia de los Hoodless, Squishy Werewolf, Remy Funky Head, Accent Therapeutic Services in Florence, Kentucky, Lael, Jordan Oliver, Richard Wright, Brittany Fenwick, Megan Werner, A Man Out of Time, Curtis at FingerTechRobotics.com, Panda24NN, Shendra D, Your Homeboy Bones, Ellis Hatch, Odigenous, Kai Koa, Squire Solaire, Sandy Sassy Pants, Amira Lockhart, James Molina, Nick Hemsing, Alex LaFountain, Mickey Blake, Seth Cambron, Corpse Knight Silver, Adam Mir 101, The Dankler, Anticore 7, Lady Destiny Stormbringer, Randall Eberly, and Jill and Noel LaPlante. If you want your name to be added to this list, you can join our Patreon too at patreon.com/dumdumdice. Thanks to them, and a little bit of thanks to you.